People hate hydration breaks, JJ, and they've clearly changed football.
Completely. They're allowing managers to change things in-game that are affecting the entire outcomes, whereas before they have to wait until half-time. So for example, Argentina played against Austria. Austria tend to press really aggressively, and Argentina want to play through the middle. So at the start of the game, Austria come in with a really compact team going straight for them, and Argentina are quite close together. So you can see this is the Austrian team, really tight, there's not space between them. Argentina want to try and play through them. And you can see that Argentina's players are also gathered around all together as well. So there's the first half here, Argentina's players are close together, Austria's trying to punch through them. Then there's a hydration break.
A hydration break.
Yes. And so we're now into the second quarter of the game. And so what you see now is Argentina's centre-backs are now massively split. They weren't earlier on. They've got more width. And what this does is completely splits the press up. So Austria want to press in a 4-4-2 shape. But now, because the centre-backs are so wide, the two strikers can't get as close to them as they want to, which means other players are now, normally this left-sided midfielder here would be closer to the full-back because they're a bit shorter together. Because they're so spaced out, now there's a bigger distance to cover, and that distance is so big they can't really make the jump. Later in the quarter, I'm calling it quarters, that's what they are really, hydration breaks. You have Argentina, Austria are now separated more than they ever have been in the game, so their distances are much bigger than they want to be, they're normally more compact, and that's in the turnover where Argentina get the space to be able to move the ball wide, they get players wide, they can put the ball in the middle, and Messi scores. So it's a lot of other things going on, but the change comes during the hydration break, that's how they do it. But there's lots more. So here's an example of Sweden versus the Netherlands. Now, at the very start of the game, Graham Potter sets them up in a back five. That's what he had. We thought Netherlands would play with a 4-3-3, but they also tend to play with a back five like they did in the last game they lost against Morocco. The problem you've got is when you're trying to put pressure and they're trying to play a mid-block and then go to high press, is that the wing back has to jump on the full back here, which is a massive, massive distance to go. You can see it's huge. Can't you, Joe?
I can see how large that distance is.
Well, let's see what happens now, because the ball goes backwards. He's making the run up to try and get close to the full back. Same as the right wing back, have to do the same over here as well, you see. But what else you can see is that they're trying to get two strikers in the team. So they've got Gyökeres and Isak. Now, if you're blocking with a 4-4-2, whatever, it kind of makes sense, but you'd have midfielders either side of the midfield so they can jump on the fullbacks.
Yeah.
But it means that they're going to go and press here. They can't really do it because there's a spare man. So when he runs up to jump into this, these players then have to jump, but you see this midfielder here would have to jump all the way here rather than this guy. This guy would have to go here with him, he'd have to go here with him, and it's going to leave someone spare somewhere. There's a lot of confusion going on. And so Netherlands can put the ball backwards, strikers push up. Now you've got the right wing back over here is going to have to try and make his way all the way back. You've also seen at the back end of this, you've got the left-sided centre-back has been pulled all the way out to the wing. So there's lots of things moving on. And of course, you lose the ball, you're not going to be in the shape that you want to be able to defend against this. Now here, what you start seeing on the other side of the pitch is that players aren't sure who's meant to be going with who. They're trying to pass them over. So the conversation between the right-sided centre-back and the midfielder, he's trying to say to hand over, because this number 16 here probably needs to hand over this to go and push on here. This is what they want to have. And you see, again here, same sort of thing. So this midfielder here is trying to pass it on to the back line, but there's a bit of confusion. No one knows who's going to pick him up. Lindelof, the left-sided centre-back here, is like, someone's got to watch this run. You can see the danger. The ball is hoofed over the top by Van Dijk. No one's sure who to go with. No one's convinced who they're meant to be marking, and they get in behind. It's a dangerous chance. Then,
wait, let me guess.
Well,
hydration break.
No, there's a goal.
Oh,
it all comes from this goal. So here's the Netherlands breaking against them. Just one more example of why this doesn't work in the first half. The first quarter is that you've got these players, loads of space either side of the centre backs. Netherlands are able to attack it. The wing backs here can't get back into shape in time. And so they end up with a ball across the box and they score. But then what happens?
Hydration break.
There's a hydration break.
I got it right the second time.
We're now into the second quarter hydration break. And what you see now is Graham Potter has sorted it. He's fixed it straight away. The press was not working. The shape doesn't make sense. Back four. Now the left back here is able to go out to this winger. Right back over here as well. Two players looking after Brian Brobby, who's been amazing so far. And so then what you get is this different shape here. Because they've not got the right players in the right places, you've got two midfielders in this area here. You still have two strikers. Isak's moved out to the left. So it's a little bit confused still. It's not quite a 4-4-2. It's more of a 4-5-1 kind of thing, but it has addressed a lot of the issues. So there's still pressing issues. One of the midfielders moves out here, another moves back in. They're still not quite sure where to be, but they address this later in the game. But by the time they get really fixed, they're kind of out of the game already. So they lost this game 5-1. That's what you get. But this is all stuff done from the hydration break. And Graham Potter even says he didn't see it coming. He didn't see what Netherlands were going to do. He said Brobby changed the dynamic of the Netherlands a lot. He made them go from being a good team to being a very, very good team. He's a great player, Brian Brobby. To come up against that class of opposition with that width, that control, and the 9 threat was too much for us. They set up for a way that they expected to happen, and they had to adjust it in-game. Without the hydration break, they couldn't have done that. They could have been getting absolutely done in. I mean, they kind of were anyway. And my last example, you can see this. This is Brazil versus Japan. So hydration breaks look like this, right? Who's getting hydrated here? Not all of them. I'll tell you that for free. He's got a drink there, that's good.
I think he's being hydrated.
There's a few being hydrated, but mostly what to look at here is the management team, the coaching staff are giving them all instructions. They're telling them what to do. Same as Brazil here. What you can't really see is over here is Carlo Ancelotti is using a tactics board. He's looking at different things and you can see what he's doing plays out in this game here. Because what you have in the pitch now, so this is after this break, is you get this sort of shape here. So they pull Vinicius Jr. way out wide to the left. So they did this at halftime. They've changed a few things. They put Endrick in the middle. That was a halftime change. They've put Vinicius Jr. further wide here to try and pull players away. Gabriel Martinelli's already come on, but they've not changed everything. Martinelli's received instructions, but maybe not exactly what they want to do with it. Now, what he's focusing on, I saw on the tactics board Ancelotti had in the third quarter hydration break, was wide triangles, focus players on the wide sides so you can make sure you can get overloads and just really focus on that. And of course, they score their winner by having Vinicius Jr. wide here. They've got a triangle. You can't really see it in the shot, but what you see with the way they positioned this and the way they've been instructed is that this defender here, obviously looking after Martinelli, who's just come on, but his eye, he's got Vinicius in his mind. He can see him there. That's the danger. He's the star boy. Now, when this pass comes in, it could either go here, it could either go out to Vinicius as well. Again, you can see him, he's still looking at this. The pass goes inside, he's distracted, he's not able to get close to him. Martinelli takes a touch, finishes, and that's how Brazil beat Japan in the end. And it's all to do with hydration breaks, which are changing the game.
If you like this video, please consider subscribing to the channel. The Athletic is home to some of the world's best sports journalists, including David Ornstein, Amy Lawrence, and James Horncastle. With the latest transfer news and insights on every Premier League story that matters, theathletic.com puts you inside football, and you can try it for free now for 30 days. See the link in the description.